Hey everybody, Joe Sports with John today. Continuing our NFL draft prospects. We're starting off with the offensive lineman today. So because it's offensive lineman, I am not going to sit here and talk about every single attribute of them and whatnot. Going to identify more of the teams that they might go to. So I'm going to do it that way with the offensive lineman. Maybe talk a little bit about if they're more of a tackle or more of a guard or more of a center. But I'm just going to kind of roll through these today because I think it's harder for most people to get a good grasp on the offensive lineman. So anyway, so the first guy I have, now this is close because a lot of people have Jedrick Willis from Alabama as the number one, and then some folks will have Tristan Wirfs from Iowa the number one. So I'm gonna actually have Tristan Wirfs because he strikes me as a little bit more of a tackle. He can play both left tackle, right tackle. He's got good athleticism and good blocking, pass blocking, and whatnot. So I think, to me, that makes him just a little bit more valuable than Jedrick Willis. I think the first team we're probably looking at in terms of Tristan Wirfs is probably the Giants at number 4. They could do that, start helping protect their quarterback there. And Gettleman is known for picking big offensive linemen, so I could see that being like the first guy. They do have Saquon Barkley, so they could easily do Jedrick Willis if they feel better about him. I do think that's where the first lineman will go. They could do an edge rusher. Sometimes those guys are considered more valuable for a higher pick. So if it doesn't happen there, I'm pretty sure the Dolphins will take a quarterback. It could be the Chargers, but again, I think we're talking quarterback for them. Panthers more likely to pick defense, but they could also do an offensive lineman. And more likely, if the Cardinals, this is where I kind of see maybe if the first offensive lineman hasn't gone already, then I think by the Cardinals it would, because then that would tell me that you've had a lot more defensive picks up to the Cardinals point, and they may say, you know what, all the defensive guys we really rank in the top 5 or 6 or whatever, top 10 are gone, so let's go offensive lineman. So I think either way, by that point, by the Cardinals point, we'll have had one of these offensive linemen, and maybe even 2 of them. So talked a little bit about Jedrick Willis. He's a big, strong, run-blocking type dude. I think that a team that needs kind of a right tackle, right guard situation improved is probably going to look at him. This could be where if this guy falls to the Bucs all the way down at 14, and some people have said that they might want to come up and get this guy at like 7 or 8 or whatever, trade with somebody. I'm not so sure the Bucs would trade up, but that would be a possible that if he's there, that might fit for what they're looking for. But again, I think we're talking no later than maybe the Browns at pick 10, getting strong right tackle, run blocker there or something like that. So, and even the Jets. Next guy I have is Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas is out of Georgia, and Georgia's been pretty good. He's not quite as big. He's around the same size as Jedrick Willis. I think for him, he's they had a good line there. They were able to protect their quarterback for a long term. Can play both the left tackle, right tackle position. Flexibility, athleticism. He's another guy like Willis can struggle against pass rushers in the interior. So, again, talking around the Browns and Jets, I mean, these first 3 guys I don't think are going to fall very far. Maybe the Raiders at this point, and again, by the Buccaneers, one of these top 4 I think would go. So looking past that, and then rounding it out, I've got McKinney Becton. McKinney Becton is huge. This guy's 6'7", 364 pounds. I mean, holy crikey. I can't even picture that in my mind right now. That's just humongous. So, obviously somebody like the Ravens who've had Jonathan Ogden or somebody like that. I mean, anybody that just wants big, tough, beefy linemen, that's who's going to get this guy. And then this guy, if you look at other top 5s, I don't think you're going to find him in there. I've got Isiah Wilson. He's another guy from Georgia, and I think 6'7", 350 pounds. Again, massive, but he moves really well, and that's the thing that gets me with this guy. Now he's got quite a weaknesses. guys that can come off fast and then go right into power can give him trouble. The guys that can get around the edge can get him in trouble. So I mean, he strikes me as a guy that's got a lot to learn. But if he can get with like a good offensive line coach, the potential here and his build is just freakish, man. Like if you can get your hands on a guy like that and be able to mold him. Now I know like what a coach doesn't say, oh, I can turn him around or whatever. But, I think in this case, you have to kind of roll with that. So I'm putting him as number 5 just for the pure athleticism. But anyway, that's my top 5 offensive linemen. If you guys want more of a breakdown on any of these specific positions, let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to go into more depth on them. I know some of these positions aren't like super fascinating or whatever, but if one of you wants something more on it, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, you guys, and we'll see you later, and get ready for my defensive backs video. Thanks. Bye.